Hello, YouTube. Let me go live on Instagram as always, and we're going to get into it. All right, let's go live there. I'm going to talk to you today instead of Instagram. How are we going? All right, so we're going to talk about mourning the old you. One of the biggest pieces that I see is missing. Oh my God, my hair, you can tell it's quite human today. One of the biggest pieces that I see is missing when high achieving women come and work with me and they feel like they've been doing everything they possibly can to make a shift in their reality, to make a change in their mindset, to be able to make progress and see the progress and sustain the progress. I think that's one of the biggest things, what's taught on the internet is to strive for these quick wins, these dopamine hits, and to feel really good for a little period of time, but not really feel that and sustain that for a long-term vision. And if you feel like you've been working towards that and you feel like maybe you are someone who chases the dopamine hits and the quick wins, this is definitely for you. One of the biggest issues I see with high achievers is that they do not want to let go of their old identity. And I'm going to explain exactly why. In the process, I kind of share with my clients, and I've been speaking to a couple of my clients about this specifically today and a little bit last week. So this is why it's fresh in mind. But the process of becoming someone brand new and the process of creating a more income, better relationships, getting new clients in your business or more money in your business or that promotion in your career, the process of that, you have to essentially decide to cut off the part of you that was attached to that, the part of you that created that. And that means you need to mourn that part of your identity. It's just like when you lose someone or anything, you need to be able to mourn that part of your identity and actually let it go and make peace with the fact that it is no longer you. And so the issue that I see is, yes, you may feel like you're putting in the work and you're doing everything you possibly can, and maybe you've invested in yourself, but you always feel that you are either chasing your tail or you start to see some results, you get a lot of momentum, and then it's like the same cycle every couple of months that you are repeating and you feel like nothing is sustainable. The reason is you are still holding on so tight to an old identity that once served you. And this is why you do it. It's because it benefits you in some way. So the tangible thing, because we know with every live that I do, I love to give you something tangible that you can actually go away and you can go and take action on, because it's all well and good to listen to this type of stuff, but unless you're taking action and actually making incremental progress, nothing is going to change. So what I want you to go away and do is who you currently are right now is first recognizing who you currently are has gotten you to where you currently are, but it is not going to get you to where you want to go, or else it would be the exact same reality. And this is why a lot of people feel like they're doing everything, but they look back on their last 6 to 12 months and they go, well, it's exactly the same. Everything looks the same. The income I'm making is the same. The relationships I have and I'm attracting is exactly the same. Everything feels the same. And this is because, in some way, shape, or form, you are actually benefiting from staying in your old identity. And so, the tangible part of this is I need you to go away and ask yourself, how do I benefit from staying as I am today? How do I benefit from reacting as I do to money today? How do I benefit from attracting these same relationships or keeping relationships that I know deep down aren't serving me, but how am I benefiting from actually keeping them in my life, from actually giving them time and energy and effort? How do I benefit from that? How do I benefit from doing the same thing in my business months and months and months and months and not trying anything different, not expanding my comfort zone, not following up with potential new clients? How do you benefit? And I know that when I share this concept with people who haven't worked with me, sometimes they say to me, why would I benefit from it if it's something I'm trying to change? Obviously, I know it's not serving me, right? And this is, if you're watching this, you're a high achiever. You're ambitious. You have big goals. You have big dreams. You have big desires. You know that you want to live an above average life. You know that where you currently are is not where you want to stay for the rest of your life. But what our subconscious mind does, it actually gravitates towards anything that it sees a benefit in. And if you have written out that benefit for so long, it's going to feel comfortable, right? Our subconscious mind's job overall, if we were to simplify the entire thing, is to keep you safe, is to stay in the familiar, is to keep you in your comfort zone. And so if it keeps you in a comfort zone and also sees that comfort zone is a benefit, it's going to do whatever it can. So this may look like not following up with any new potential clients and saying you're too busy or you were tired or you got sick, right? You attracted sickness. This may saying, oh, well, the algorithms really shit on social media. Of course, that's not why I'm getting traction or any new clients, or, it's just too hard. It's so saturated. Or manifesting that you can't work for the week and because you're getting sick or something happens. Maybe at your job, this looks like you have an opportunity to go for a promotion, but then all of a sudden you say, well, it's not the right time because I meant to go to this holiday, or I need to do this, or I need to wait for that. These are all ways, and this is a very, very simplified way of putting it, but these are all ways that show up to show you, it's actually feedback. Everything is feedback to show you that somewhere hidden that you need to uncover, there is a benefit in you staying exactly the same. Maybe that is because you perceive, and the way we kind of like reverse engineer this is take the thing that you want to do. Let's say you own a business, and let's say you've hit an income cap this entire year or the past few months, right? You are, let's say, making $10,000 and you want to be making $20,000 a month, and you feel that no matter what you do, you are only consistently bringing in $10,000. You have tried everything. Maybe you've invested in yourself. You tried different techniques with posting and different social media avenues. But you feel no matter what, you cannot surpass that. So you need to ask yourself now, where are you benefiting from staying in that what you perceive as an income cap, from staying at $10,000? Now, because I've done this type of work with clients, a few things that do come up is, oh, well, if I make more money, which means I need to pay more tax. I don't want to do that. I don't like paying tax. Number two, if I make more money, that comes with more responsibility. Number three, if I make more money and my family finds out, it means, I'm going to have to help them out, or they expect more from me. And even though we can consciously say these things, unless we are getting to the root of what is actually driving our behavior, so subconsciously getting to the root and eliminating that, a lot of the modalities that you see online, when you see, I've recorded a story for today, an Instagram story. It's not yet up. I'm going to post it after this live. But basically, what I was saying, a lot of coaches these days, or a lot of things that you see on the internet, is like, just think big, move big, and just think that you're the powerful one, and just think you're the one, and you can change your life, right? All of this like sappy shit. That doesn't work, because at the end of the day, you can keep piling on all these affirmations. You can keep thinking that you're the number one and you're powerful. But if at the root, like in your subconscious mind, deep down, you actually believe that if you make more money, it's going to be more responsibilities and it's going to stress you out and you're going to have no time for your friends and family, your subconscious mind is going to do whatever it can to avoid that. It will manifest you getting sick. It will manifest clients. You're getting so close, clients, and then all of a sudden at the last minute, they go, oh, actually, this isn't for me, or they ghost you. Or you're going to manifest, your account getting shut down, or not being able to log into something, anything like this. It comes in different ways, right? It showcases in your life in different ways. And that is a clear indication when you feel like you're doing the work and it's not going your way, the way you perceive is the right way. That is a clear indication that subconsciously something is happening. And so most modalities tell you to add things on, right? Add things on. Do this affirmation, do this EFT tapping, do this, add, think positive. You need to eliminate first. This is phase one of my woman mastery methodology, which is subconscious reprogramming, which requires you to eliminate the root cause of what is causing your current behavior, what is causing your current identity. I am in week 2 of hosting Identity Evolution. So Identity Evolution is a 4-week program. And last week we went into what it looks like to actually emotionally balance yourself and neutralize your feelings around who you are and where you're moving towards. And this is a big part of it, right? Being able to neutralize that. And so if you are stuck, like I said, the first thing that I want you to go away and do, the tangible things, number one, I want you to actually list out where you benefit from staying where you currently are. And take your time, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to get it like that straight away in the first sitting. It doesn't mean that you're going to have all the answers and have all these breakthroughs within the first 30 minutes of journaling, but you need to be patient with yourself to understand that. And then from there, you actually need to look at, if this is how I benefit, what's the fear attached to that? So I benefit from staying the same because it means if I don't make any more money, that means I will have less responsibility. So the fear of that is maybe fear of failure, because you fear that if you make money, you're going to fail because you won't be able to handle all the responsibility, for example. So the two things I want you to go away and do is, number one, look at the benefit of where you currently are, your identity. Just look at your results, look at your current reality, right? It's not rocket science here. You just need to look at your current reality, break it down into 4 areas: your finances, your income, your business or career. And or career could be 2 areas if you have both: your relationships, just keep it super simple, and your health and fitness or your wellness, whatever you want to put that label on. And just don't let your ego come in on what you want it to look like or what would be ideal or what you're working towards. I want you to quite literally write, what does it look like right now, and reflect on, say, the past 6 months. How has that looked? And then how do you benefit from staying in there, and reverse engineer what's the fear attached to that? You may have many different fears. You don't need to just have one fear, like overarching fear of failure. You may have many different fears attached, but that is the perfect place to start. And this, I'm doing a lot of this work too with my clients who are coming into the Visionary 2025 Planning Edition. So that's a 4-week container. It's a one-on-one mentorship where we actually, as it suggests, we plan out your entire 2025. We get to the nitty gritty. We don't say, oh, it would be really good to make X amount next year. Like what's some affirmations I can say, or what are some like tangible actions? No, we get to the nitty gritty of your identity and your subconscious programming, and then we start to look at what's the structure, what's the strategy behind that, because you need both, right? You can have the best strategy in the entire world, and I've seen these with my clients. They have the best strategy in the world, and things aren't like the parts aren't meshing together, and it's because at the root of who they see themselves and what they're actually doing, they don't perceive themselves as someone who has what they want. And so inside the Visionary 2025 Planning Edition, all of the details, YouTube is in show notes below, over on Instagram, link in bio, but it's also on my story currently. And like I said, 4 weeks, you and me, one-on-one. It's an intensive, right? So it's not fluffy, like let's just talk about like what dreams and desires we have. And you can probably tell by the way that I'm teaching you now on this live, I have a very non-bullshit mentorship style. So we get to the nitty-gritty of why you haven't actually achieved where you want to go by now. It's actually such an insane container. And so this is part of the work, because understanding this about yourself and understanding where you benefit, this is going to allow you, coming full circle from the start of this live, what you need to mourn, when it comes to becoming a new you, what you need to let go of, what you need to make peace with inside to become the person that you were working towards. I see so many high achievers fall short because the person they're working towards is someone who is not in alignment, in configuration with who they want to be. And it's because they are holding on so tight to old parts of themselves, or they see some success for a little bit and then all of a sudden they like lose the momentum and go back. That is a clear indication to me, if you cannot sustain the change that you have made across the board in your life, finances, business, relationships, fitness, if you cannot sustain it, that means somewhere inside of you there is a belief so deep rooted, or beliefs so deep rooted, that it is holding you back. You are only as successful as your limiting beliefs and fears. It's as simple as that. And does that make it sound like it's a forever game? Of course. But the more conscious you become as a human being, the more understanding you are of yourself, the more you trust yourself, is the more you back yourself. And if you can't back yourself, what do you really have? And so all of it kind of goes all together. So I've given you 2 really tangible things. Go look at how you benefit from staying where you currently are and who you currently are, and then reverse engineer and understand exactly the fear that is holding you back. A lot of people will just say things like, maybe you're saying this, like, oh, I'm just comfortable here, or I'm just like scared, or I don't know if this is the right time, or I don't know if like I can do this. When you hear yourself, right? A lot of the work I do with my clients is building self-trust. Like that's the foundation of everything, right? If you have a house, if you don't have the foundation, it's going to crumble. That's like the work I do with the woman mastery methodology. If you don't have self-trust, everything's going to crumble. And when you build self-trust, you're able to witness yourself. Witnessing yourself and who you are, being able to bird's eye view a situation and take the emotion out of it. And this is what we did in Identity Evolution program last week in week 1, neutralizing our emotions and being able to stop swaying on the pendulum. But when you're able to bird's eye view a situation, take the emotion out of it and witness yourself and what's happening and give yourself feedback, chef's kiss, because you will go so far in life. And this is what I teach my clients. Most people want to change, or they want this great life, or they have great ambitions, but they refuse to witness what they're really doing. They refuse to witness who they actually are. They refuse to take responsibility for the part that they are playing in their own suffering. And if you refuse to take self-responsibility for the part you're playing in your own suffering, you will continue to suffer. You will continue to do things like you've always done things and feel like you're working so hard, and then say, well, I blame the economy, or I blame the government, or I blame my friends, or I blame my parents, or I blame, where I grew up, or I blame that I don't have the latest iPhone or the latest laptop or the latest clothes. Don't have access to that. That's what will happen. That's what that will sound like when you don't have self-trust. And that becomes a very, very slippery slope as a high achiever, because your ambitions and your dreams are up here, but your ability to achieve them is down here. And that's exactly what we work on in most of my containers to different degrees. So go away, take action on what I've done. And if you want some one-on-one time with me in a short mentorship, definitely hop into, there are 2 spots left, I think, for the rest of the year. Hop into the Visionary 2025. Like I said, YouTube, show notes below, over on Instagram. It should be in my link in bio. If it's not, you can either DM me, tell me watch this live, or it is currently on my Instagram stories at time of recording this. And yeah, we will plan out with the energetics and the strategy your entire 2025, but also yourself. So not just like, I have a goal to make this money and I have a goal to run this marathon. It's like, who are you going to become in 2025? Anyway, I've got to go now. Hope that you have enjoyed this live, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.